Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. So for today's video, we will be talking about the mid-year freakout book tag. I'm so excited, you guys. This is the second year I do this, and I try to keep most of the questions that I used last year that I've seen around on YouTube, but I also included a few more that I saw in Katie's channel. I will link her information below. She is the creator of the rest of the questions at the end. So before we begin, if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. That way you never miss another one of my videos. Also keep in mind that I will be talking vaguely about some books versus others. I don't think I'll be reading you the synopsis to any of these. I'll give you a little snippet of what the books are about, or maybe I'll just keep it vague. Who knows? We'll see how this video goes, but nonetheless, I'm so excited to begin. So the first question we have is best book you've read so far in 2024, and that has to be Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I mean, come on, you guys. This is probably going to be included a lot in some of these questions. Please forgive me, but you guys have no idea how much this book means to me, how much it impacted my soul. The narrators in this book are just gold. Kai's character in general, that person that narrates his character in this book, is just buttery, flawless, ridiculously sexy goodness, okay? I loved this book so much. Again, after I read it, my first thought was, this is my favorite book of the year. And I've read this, I think, a couple months ago, and I'm still thinking about it. It's still living in my mind rent-free, and it'll still live in my mind rent-free because I just love this world. I love these characters. I love the storyline. I love the romance in here. If you didn't know what Powerless is about, Powerless follows Peyton and Kai. This is a YA romance fantasy, and it follows their story set in a world where a plague has hit. And because the plague hit, you get kind of a division between the people that live in it. You get people that survived the plague and got special powers due to the plague, and then you got people like Peyton who are just living in the slums, trying to make it day by day, trying to survive this time by faking that she has powers. People get affected two ways. One, you either gain powers from the plague, or two, you either get taken out because you don't have power. And those who are powerless don't survive this world because the king has this rule that if you are powerless, you are kind of weakening those that have power. So what does he do? He gets rid of them. Men, women, children, he doesn't care. They are literally taken out. Kai is the enforcer. He basically has every type of magical power that exists, and he is the one that takes out the people that don't have powers. Peyton is powerless, trying to live day by day in the slums, trying to survive the slums. She fakes it and makes people believe that she has power so that she's not taken out. One day, she gets noticed by the people who sign you up to do these death trials because you have powers, kind of like the Hunger Games, survival of the fittest. Lo and behold, Peyton gets signed up and Kai gets signed up, and it's their romance, and that's all I'm gonna say about this book. Read it, please. This is amazing. It's a masterpiece. It's exceptional. It's beautiful. There's so much tension between the characters. There's no spice scenes at all, but it didn't need it. And if you're going to read this book, please pair it with the audiobook because it is phenomenal, okay? All right, guys, I feel like I talked a lot just about the first question, the one book that has literally changed my soul, but I will try to keep it short for the rest of the books because otherwise we'll be here all day. The next question is best sequel you've read so far in 2024, and I have two for this. The first one would be part of the Cat and Mouse duet by H.D. Carlton, and that would be Hunting Adeline. This book is so dark, you guys, but I'm telling you, it was so good. It was so good. It literally got me obsessed with dark romances. And I will talk about this on the next couple of questions, but this one was a great ending to this duet. I really enjoyed it. Probably the toughest and most triggering book I've ever read this year, but nonetheless, I enjoyed it so much. You have no idea. This is not really considered a sequel, but it is a continuation to the Chestnut Spring series, and this so far is my favorite book out of the series. That would be Powerless by Elsie Silver. These characters, this world, the family dynamic, the found family, the love. This story follows Jasper and Sloane. This is their romance, childhood best friends to lovers, done so exceptionally well. I felt the characters and the storyline and their romance literally ripping out of the pages and instilling itself into my soul, okay? This is by far my favorite book of the whole series, and if you don't know what the Chestnut Spring series is, I'm sure you know, but these are cowboy romances. They follow the Eaton family and their love interests, and this is Sloane and Jasper's story, and It's so good, you guys. I loved it so much. Next question we have is, what has been my biggest disappointment so far this year? And you guys are gonna hate me for this. Please don't attack me, okay? Keep the comments nice. I think I'm the only person in the world to feel this way about this book. It's a shame too, because this is one of my favorite authors of all time. I love all her books. I've given all her books 4 to 5 stars, mainly 5 stars, and I was just so severely disappointed by this book. That is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I don't want to really talk too much about it because I did talk about this in previous months during my wrap-up video, but let's just say that I had super high expectations with this storyline just because the storyline, the synopsis, the reason these characters met was just so good. Like a perfect recipe for me to love this book. However, I did not enjoy it because I did not like the main female character. I did not like her at all. I did not like her actions. I did not like how she treated the male main character, which I thought he was so sweet and did so much for her. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I know that most of the world does not agree with me, but I'm so sorry. I just did not like this book at all. Very severely disappointed. The next question is, new release you haven't read yet but want to. And I have 2 right now that are on my TBR, obviously. Wild Love by Elsie Silver and Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I don't really know much about them, but I'm currently in the middle of finishing the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver, and I just love anything she writes. I'm going to devour and read, and this book is no exception. Billionaire, single dad, small town romance, I think, and I'm super excited for this. Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. This is a new book in her newest series that she's coming out with, which is the Lakefront Billionaire series, and I think this one is about childhood frenemies to lovers. I love that. I know there's going to be great banter in this. I'm so excited. Next question is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I have 3, okay? The first one obviously is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I am counting the days when this is available in my hands because that day I will stop everything I'm doing, cancel all my plans, including my TBR plans, and read that, devour it, and hopefully finish it in one day. I can't wait, especially the way Powerless ended, you guys. I need that book in my hands like yesterday. A novel love story by Ashley Poston. I'm so excited about this because it's the perfect combination and recipe for an amazing summer read. This is about a woman who, I think she's an author or a librarian, and she finds herself in this cute little quaint town. Feels like it's literally out of a book. What I love about Ashley Poston's writing is that she always throws in their paranormal element, which makes the book even that much better and that much more exceptional. I know this is going to be one of those cases as well in this book, and just the summer vibes that it gives off, the fact that it's a bookish story, I'm all about. I'm so excited to read this. You guys have no freaking idea. Then of course we have Apprentice to the Villain, which is the second book in this series. I forgot the name of the series, but this is by Hannah Nicole Mayer. The first book, Assistant to the Villain, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if people say that the writing is cringy. I freaking enjoyed and devoured that book. It gave me such a great reading experience. I loved that book, and I just can't wait for this one to come out. I am so excited. What has been the biggest surprise this year for you? The Cat and Mouse Duet, you guys. I don't think you guys understand how much these books have basically messed with my brain chemistry, okay? Because I didn't think I would enjoy a stalker, psychotic, possessive, crazy man as the love interest as much as I did with these books. If you don't know what the Cat and Mouse Duet is, we're following Adeline and Zaid, and Adeline is a famous author. She's doing a book signing one day, and Zaid walks into her book signing just because, literally falls head over heels, obsessed, psychotically obsessed over her. And it's their love story. This is a dark stalker romance, and I didn't think I would ever love a stalker as much as I love Zaid. I completely love their romance. Make sure you're reading your trigger warnings and your content warnings because it is really dark and heavy, but these are the books that changed my brain chemistry for good. Like, I question my morals at this point. Because of this series, I have wanted to step into the darker side and read some more messed up books and dark romances. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, you guys. Once you read these books and you step into the dark side, it's like you don't want to go back. I'm thankful because of it, because I wouldn't have wanted to read dark romances if it wasn't for these. There are lighter dark romances out there, and I wouldn't suggest you read these if you're trying to begin and dip your toes in dark romance, but I did because I'm crazy and I enjoyed the ride. Was it hard to read at times? Was it disturbing? Was it just like one of those books that some people don't finish, especially the second one, because it's that triggering? Yes, but I'm glad I did because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ride. I love these characters, despite the fact that there's freaking psychotic and crazy, and the things that happen in this book are not only sad, tragic, off the wall, insane, but again, these books changed my brain chemistry for the better, and because of it, I love dark romances now, and I will never go back. Next question we have is, what is your favorite author, new author to you, debut author? For me, that's 2 in 1. This is a brand new debut author, which I'm so impressed on the fact that this is her first book ever, and she freaking knocked it out of the park. Second, this is a new author introduced to me this year that I only regret not reading this book sooner, and of course that is Lauren Roberts, because she wrote Powerless, okay? This author can do no wrong. It's so amazing, and it's so fascinating to me that she is in her 20s. She's very young to be an author, and already her first debut, I think this is her first debut, is exquisitely probably the best thing I've ever read in my life, okay? I'm not joking. If you're gonna get anything out of this video, please read this book. Please read it. Buy it yesterday. Read it now. And enjoy the ride, because it's one hell of a ride in the best way ever. Her writing is exceptional, and she's only in her 20s, you guys. What is she gonna write next? Like, I wonder what other books she'll write in the near future, because once this trilogy is over, I will be crushed, I will be sad, but I will be also excited to see what else she comes up with and to see if it's just as good. Next question we have is newest fictional crush. I have 2. Okay, let's start with the cinnamon roll first. We have Shep from Ready or Not by Cara Baston. This is a surprise pregnancy trope that leads to a friendship love type of romance, if that makes sense. A surprise pregnancy leads to even more life-changing revelations in this heartfelt, slow burn friends to lovers romance. The guy in this book, I want to marry him. Okay, he is a cinnamon roll. He is just everything to the main character, Evie. I think her name is Evie or Eve. Eve. She gets pregnant during a one-night stand. The father of the baby is not really present, but it's not because he's a bad guy. It's because he's going through certain issues in his life. Who steps in just because he's friends with this girl, basically best friends? Her best friend, Shep, okay? And he helps her throughout the entire thing, does these really beautiful, kind acts of service without even having to, because he's only a friend. He's not the father of the baby. And it's just so beautiful watching these two fall in love. Again, it's a slow burn, but it's just the best slow burn I've ever read in my life because of him. He makes the book for me. He, like, only in books, you guys, only in books. Only in books would a man do this just because he's a friend, you know? And it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love him so much as a character. I am in love with him. And then we have, obviously, you guys are gonna laugh at me. I don't know, you might feel the same way. Some of you girlies might feel the same way as me, but of course we have Zayd Meadows from Hunting and Hunting Adeline. I mean, come on, how can you not love this psychotic, possessive, aggressive, crazy man, okay? How he loves Adeline is toxic, but in the best way ever. How he's so possessive, how he will murder somebody slowly and painfully because they have touched her. How his stare alone is so deadly. Oh my gosh, the toxic slash amazing relationship that these two have is just so freaking good. Oh my gosh, it's chef's kiss. And again, he's mean. He's not very nice to her during most of these books, but you can't help but love him for it, because not only is he a psychotic, possessive, crazy man who murders people, right? He murders the people that, you know, have done really horrible things, the human traffickers, the sick and twisted people out there that have done obscenely horrible things to women and children. He runs his secret agency to help stop these people and this corrupt world. At the same time, he's obsessed with Adeline, and he's so flawed. He is very flawed. He's had a rough past, and he doesn't fake it with her. He shows her how bad he is, but it's so good. Everybody wants to be stalked by Zayn Meadows, okay? I know I do. Next question we have is book that made you cry this year, and that would be Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This book in particular made me sob to my core, like ugly cry. I have a vlog. You know, I'll link it down below, but I have a vlog that shows how ugly I cried during this specific scene. And the scene wasn't like detrimental or a huge scene. It was just the characters' actions, the loyalty, the faithfulness that these characters have with each other, and they're just strangers at some point, you know, but you feel it in your heart and in your soul, and it seeps out through the pages, basically punches your heart because it's that emotional. And that's why this book, I mean, I've had other books that have made me cry this year, but this one in particular has made me sob uncontrollably, but it was beautiful. Next question is a book that made you happy. I have two, okay? I have Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and I have Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. What can I say? Well, we have a cozy fantasy and a cozy romance fantasy, and I devoured and loved both of these books. The way that these books made me feel giddy and happy and all the fuzzy, cozy feelings, especially with Bookshops and Bone Dust. This is the prequel to Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, and this one just follows Viv and a whole set of characters which are delectable, delightful, so good. There's also a bookstore in here. She's helping Fern, who is the owner of the bookstore, get her bookstore up and running a little better than what she's been doing. The characters in these books are just so sweet and just so cozy, and it's such a great feeling of reading his books. The experience is like no other to me because it's just a warm fuzzy hug in the best way with the best food descriptions, the best characters, and this one is really good also because it is in a bookstore. I mean, what more could you ask for? Then of course we have Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and this was such a fun ride for me. The banter, the characters. My favorite character is this little toad. His name is Kinsley. I've talked about him several times. He made the book for me, and we're just following a villain and his assistant essentially. That's literally what the book is about. So we're following Evie, who has just left her job because she kind of surrendered it to some other woman in need, and she's walking in the forest and she runs into the villain. His name is Tristan, but you don't get to know that until towards the end of the book. He's being chased by guards because they're trying to kill him, because hence he's the villain. And so she saves his life, and they form this bond after that where he propositions her to be his office assistant, and it's their romance, and I just love it so much. I love how cozy and cute this is. This was so fun, you guys. I can't say better things about this book because it just, every single page I was giddy, I was laughing, I was kicking my feet, I was just enjoying the ride so much. The next question is the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. I have three, okay? Bear with me. So I have Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This is the Fairy Loot edition. Look how stunning. It's so beautiful. It's mostly not only beautiful because of the way it looks, but because of what's written inside, the way the author writes, her lyrical, poetic writing, okay? It's beautiful. I loved this story so much. And again, it's extra special to me because the book is just stunning, okay? Stunning. Everything about this book is beautiful. Then we go to the naked hardcover of it, and it's just so beautiful. Then we have Empire of the Damned by Jay Kristoff. This is a Lumicrates copy. Look, that is my favorite part of the book. It's just so stunning, you guys. I mean, they did so good with this book. The inside is beautiful. It's got white and gold foiling, which is my favorite. I mean, come on. How could you not love this combination? My books are falling. I have literally all the books stacked in front of me, and I'm holding that one stack with my leg because I know I'm going to talk about these books again. So during this time, I wasn't a subscriber for Illumicrate, so I ended up getting this second book in this series. Actually, the first book in the Empire of the Damned series, which I don't know what the name of the series is, but this is the first book in that series, and I got this online. I forgot the name of the website, but I got their special edition of it, and it's a naked, leathery, like hardback, and it looks like this. Look how pretty this is. This is just so beautiful. It looks like an antique, and the reason why I love this is because the paper on the inside is like glossy. It's like really great thick quality paper, but not only that, you literally get illustrations throughout the entire book, which I think are so stunning and so beautiful. Next question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And I only have two. They're both by Sarah J Maas. I'm sorry. I have Kingdom of the Ash by Sarah J Maas, and I have Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. So Kingdom of the Ash, I've been holding off, you guys, because I'm just scared. Okay, I'm scared to read what the final book of this series is, because I have a feeling it's not going to be something I like, and I hate that for myself, because I could be wrong, but yeah, that's why I'm holding off on it. Obviously, I want to read it by the end of this year. Then we have House of Blood and Earth, which is the first book in the Crescent City series. There's 3 books right now, and I know Sarah J Maas is coming out with a new different series, and I want to be caught up with all of her series. So that starts with this one, and it's so embarrassing because last year I had this on my list too, as what books I want to read by the end of the year. And here we are, a year later, and I still haven't read it. So now we're moving on to the extra questions that I got from Katie's page that I will include on here along with her YouTube channel as well. The first question is, what books do you want to reread this year? I only have 2, okay? Let me just dig through my stack, okay? Because it just looks so much better when I have a book pulled up. So I have Powerless, of course, by Lauren Roberts. I want to reread it because I just want to feel again the way this book made me feel for the first time. That's all. I mean, Reckless is coming out soon. I don't think I'm going to be reading this before Reckless, but nonetheless, I will be rereading this at some point this year. And then the second book, obviously, is going to be Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. As soon as I finished this book, when I finished it, I wanted to immediately pick it up again and reread it. Now, granted, I haven't reread a book at all during my reading journey. Not because I'm not tempted to, but because there's so many other books I want to read, you know? This one, though, as soon as I finished it, gave me that feeling that I needed to reread it again, be in this world again, be with these characters, laugh with the situation in this book, and have such a fun time because it made me feel so happy when I read it. Book that you enjoyed that had mixed reviews. This one is a shocker because I did not realize I was going to enjoy this book as much, especially given the fact that this is the first book in the series and it's literally a 9-book series. Okay, that's such a big, thick series, and it doesn't count the interconnected spin-off series that you combine with this one. Zodiac Academy, The Awakening, which is the first book in this Zodiac Academy series by Carolyn Pickman and Suzanne Valenti. This is a dark academia bully romance series, and the writing is the cringiest thing I've ever read in my life. But is it a good time? Yes. Is it juicy, gossipy, and you just can't look away because it feels like you're reading a reality TV show? Yes. Okay, and that's why I loved it. I also loved it because of the magic system, the characters in it, the bully romance, believe it or not, I enjoyed everything. And the series is getting better and better as it goes, and it's getting spicier and spicier, and it is a very spicy series, but I am devouring it. I love the school, and again, the magic system, the elemental powers. We have all different types of characters. We have sirens, we have shapeshifters, dragon shifters, we have fae. Like, we have so much. I mean, they give you a lot. The authors give you everything and anything that you could ever ask for in a fantasy romance. I'm excited to continue the series. Next question is series that you want to finish before the end of the year. To no surprise, it's going to be the Throne of Glass series and the Crescent City series. I have to finish these. I want to finish these by the end of the year, you guys. I have to. 5-star predictions for the rest of the year that you have, and I have 3. Reckless by Lauren Roberts, of course, had to have that in here. Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and a novel love story by Ashley Poston. All of these books are obviously 5-star predictions for me because their previous books have been 5 stars for me. These are no exception to me whatsoever. Next question is, do you think you'll reach your reading goal, and are you going to change it? Okay, so my reading goal for this year was to read 60 books. I've read 69 books this year, so I'm just so happy that I've already reached my goal and then some. So yes, I'm going to change my reading goal mentally because I'm not going to do it on Goodreads physically because I just don't want to give myself that pressure of not succeeding it. So I want to try to read by the end of this year 110 books, and I think I could make it. I think I could do it. And then the last question is, any new goals for the rest of the year? That's it. My only goal for the rest of this year is obviously just read 110 books for the year. I would feel so accomplished. And obviously, number is just a number, you know? It doesn't matter how many books you read. If you read 1 book, that's excellent. If you read 200 books, that's amazing. But also, not only do I want to read 110 books this year if I can swing it, but I would also like to have more 5-star reads. I mean, I've had a lot this year. You know, I've had 29 5-star reads, and I'll link that video below because I'm so happy. I'm so excited, and I feel so lucky. The fact that we're only midway through the year and I've already read 29 5-star reads. I mean, that's insane to me. So I can only imagine what the rest of the year is going to look like for me, you know? So there you have it, guys. That is my mid-year freakout book tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found maybe new books that you want to add and include onto your TBR, because all of these books have just changed my life and soul for the good, for the best, for the better. You know, I love each and every one of these books that I mentioned. And if you haven't read any of these, please put them on your list because you won't regret them. The experiences that you will get reading these books are just top-notch, top-tier, exceptional. Take it from me. So that's it. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will catch you on my next one. Bye!